Hi, welcome to Diaries. I'm Michelle and this is Tia. And on our channel, we share stories on how to build wealth through real estate. Be sure to subscribe on a weekly basis so that you can continue to hear about real stories from real investors working on real deals.
And today's topic is the top 5 ways to find real estate deals. I'll start us off. So the number one best way is going to be to use a professional real estate advisor in your area that's licensed. And the reason this is so important is because they have access to the MLS. And the MLS is the multiple listing service. And basically any agent in your area that has a listing is going to put that listing up on the MLS. And what you can do is you can have your agent set up alerts for you. They'll do it based off of your criteria of unit size or asset class and price, location. And basically, as soon as something pops up that fits what you are looking for, you'll be the first one notified. And so that's why the MLS is so powerful. Also, by working with a real estate professional, especially one that has a decent size of business and listings, they're kind of doing the work for you. You know, they'll have email campaigns, they'll be in contact with owners, they'll have direct mail campaigns, and they're doing all this work on your behalf to find the best opportunity. So before their listings come to market, they may be able to share that information with you if it fits your criteria. Another little tidbit is when you're signed up for those MLS alerts with your agent, you can track expired listings. And the nice part about that is if the property doesn't sell, you may reconsider if that's something that might work out for you. And you and the agent can go and work directly with the seller on purchasing that property. So.
Absolutely. Number 2, wholesalers. So wholesalers, or another name would be bird doggers, are people that are out in your area, your neighborhood, your market, that are out there looking for off-market deals usually. They're not always licensed agents. They're usually just individuals that market like We Buy Ugly Houses, or they have really good connections with finding really good deals, both residential or commercial. And then what a wholesaler does is that they actually find really good deals that are priced below market value. They get those properties under contract to kind of tie them up per se. And then once they have the property under contract, they then go find another investor to reassign that contract to. And then once the contract is reassigned, they usually charge a finder's fee as basically a reward for helping you find a really good deal. So for example, just to keep the numbers simple, let's say a wholesaler finds a property that's worth $500,000, and then they are able to get a contract for only $300,000. Maybe the property needs a lot of work, maybe it has some foundational issues, whatever. So they have it under contract. Well, the wholesaler is not going to purchase the property. They're actually looking to find someone else to reassign the contract to. So they find an investor and maybe they then assign that contract for a $5,000 finder's fee. And we're just using easy numbers here. Other markets, the numbers are probably a lot more than that. But let's say $300,000. Then you, the end investor, purchases at $305,000, and then that's a way for you to get a really good deal. So I know that some people are always opposed to maybe paying the wholesaler's finder's fee, but don't overthink it. If it's a really good deal and the numbers work for you, then who cares what the wholesaler is making, right? It may be worth working with a wholesaler to find some really good deals.
And that leads me to number 3, which is get in touch with investment groups to find deals. Honestly, if you go to these investment groups, meetups, investment clubs, you can meet a lot of real estate agents, real estate professionals, wholesalers, contractors, and this is a great place to network. And also, while you're there, it doesn't hurt just to tell your entire sphere basically that you're in the market to look, right? So that's at investment groups, that's in your personal life, that's at work, because you never know who might raise their hand and say, hey, I've got property that I want to sell, and that may fit your needs. So the third thing would be investment groups and clubs.
Absolutely. Number 4, identifying pre-listings. Now, pre-listings can include pre-foreclosures, probates, tax liens, or other similar situations. A good way to find a deal is if you can find someone before it hits the market. So for example, maybe someone owns a home and its foreclosure is looming. Maybe they're 3 months behind on their mortgage and they know they just can't afford the house anymore. If you can actually reach out to that seller before they have to foreclose, you may be able to come in and save them and purchase the property. So that way they can save the property, not have to lose their house to foreclosure, and save their credit. And in exchange, you get a really good deal out of it, right? Same thing when it comes to probates. When there's death in the family, a lot of times the children or next of kin no longer want the property. Maybe it's in disrepair and different things like that. And the last thing they want to have to worry about is selling a property while also going through funeral plans and stuff like that. So if you can also go after those particular deals as well too, that could be another opportunity. Tax liens are also another example as well too. So be sure to connect yourself with a real estate investment advisor and see if they can get you connected to show you how you can search through county records, as well as updates of new lists when probates hit the county records, tax liens, or any connections on pre-foreclosures.
And number 5 is for sale by owner. A lot of times it's known as FSBO. And these are great properties to go after. These are the properties when you're driving down the street, you might see a sign in the yard, or they may be listed on like a public market space on the internet. And what it means is the seller has decided not to use a real estate agent to sell their house. And the reason this is such a good opportunity is there may be inadequate marketing. They just don't have access to the MLS or the large network of buyers that a real estate professional has access to. So one of the things that I would say is if you're going to go for a for sale by owner property, you want to make sure that you as the buyer do have an agent, because you want to have them help you through the buying process, to work through the negotiation, the inspection, right? You want someone experienced there that can advise you through the paperwork and the contract. And then you also want to make sure that it's priced adequately. And so a FSBO owner is an excellent person to buy a property from, and there's a lot of opportunity there to get a really good deal.
Absolutely. And another story for the Door Diaries. From my own personal experience, I've built a reputation amongst wholesalers that either I or my clients are always looking for deals of certain asset classes, certain types of properties. And there was a family that their grandmother unfortunately had passed away, and one of the grandchildren was living in the house. And a wholesaler that I was friends with had a relationship with that family. And so, of course, I was the first person he called because I built a relationship with him over time, and he knew that I was looking for properties that kind of matched the house of that family. And so we were able to really connect. And so he was able to help the family members actually sell the property. The property was in a great amount of disrepair, and they didn't want to have to worry about the selling process in addition to dealing with the loss of their family member. So he was able to connect with me. And then of course it was good for me because I probably would have never found that deal on my own without his sphere. And so we were actually able to really get a good deal from that wholesaler. And so it ended up being like a win-win. Yeah. So, if you definitely befriend and build a network of wholesalers, also real estate advisors as well too, they're usually the best because wholesalers aren't always licensed. Yeah. So even in that particular deal, I'm also a licensed real estate broker, but had I not, I would have got an advisor just to make sure that, I'm buying appropriately, I'm not overpaying, and it's a facilitated transaction, so it's fair on both sides.
And it makes me think about, like, for me, finding deals, like Michelle said, it's always a good idea to work with a real estate advisor professional. And so the way that I find deals is probably not going to be the same way that most buyers find deals, right? Because I'm also a licensed real estate agent. And so what I do for my particular deals is I have a specific area that I target and I work in, and I like to invest in that area as well. So with me being on the front line really and talking to all the sellers, talking to all the owners, knowing what's going on in their lives and when they might be thinking about selling or they might be thinking about holding on, I'm privy to that information. So because of that, I've been able to purchase myself directly from some of the sellers and owners in my area, and then also help some of my clients do that as well, right? So for me, it's really about building those relationships with the people in the area that I'm invested in.
Absolutely. So as a thank you for staying to the end, we have a bonus tip for you. Now, we can't hammer this hard enough, But whenever you find a real estate investment opportunity, whether it's off market or on the public market, always seek the advice of a real estate investment advisor. So when we say advisor, we're not just saying use any realtor or any agent that's out there. You want to find an advisor who is experienced and specializes in investment property. So the realtor that may have found your home may have been wonderful finding your home, but it may not be the same professional that you use to find a fix and flip house, a duplex, or maybe looking at a 12-unit apartment building. You want to make sure that you find an advisor that's competent in that particular market on investments. And of course, another reason to always get an advisor, even if you find an off-market deal and don't necessarily have to get one, is that that advisor can help you determine what the market value is on that property as it exists, what is the after repair value, help you look for any major red flags in the transaction or any red flags about the property, which can save you thousands of dollars should you make a mistake in purchasing a property without an advisor, and now you're spending thousands more dollars on attorneys and different things like that. So avoid that mistake by always getting an advisor. And this is for new investors and savvy investors. Savvy investors also value their own time and also look for people to assist them in analyzing and finding deals. So it never hurts to reach for an opinion of a real estate advisor.
Absolutely. And so we have a ton of information in this video for you about how to find your first deal. So if you're looking to get started on your real estate investment journey, or you're looking to buy or sell, make sure you visit our website below at diariesre.com, and we will connect you with a local real estate advisor in your area.
Also, if you like this video, be sure to click below and subscribe. So therefore, you'll be updated on a weekly basis to learn about real stories from real investors working on real estate.